Matt, take it away, man.
Michael, thanks so much, man, for taking some time. I appreciate it. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's been a month or two since you've been on stage. As somebody who has spent the vast majority of their life on stage and on the road, do you start to get anxious when you're sitting at home for too long?
Well, you know what? I get a little bit anxious, but my wife's the one who gets anxious. She's the one who she starts saying, hey, call Sammy or something. Don't you want to go out and play some shows?
Yeah, is it about time for you to get back out on the road, I think?
That's one thing that never changes. I don't know. Maybe it's because I start so many projects here around the house, or I start looking to buy another car. And that's something that I tell my wife, Sue, that, she can thank Sammy for.
And you'll be back with Sammy. You're going to start 2026 by going back to Vegas for the Best of All Worlds residency. When you guys wrapped up that first residency back in 2025, did you know right away this was going to be something you guys were going to do again?
Yeah, well, Sammy wanted to do it only because of, I hate to say it because of his age or whatever, but, it gets a certain point, and especially for singers, you got to take care of your voice a little bit better than when you were in your 20s, just screaming away and not worrying about anything. Being in a place like Vegas, as Sammy said, we can play some shows there. You're able to stay in the same spot and get a good night's sleep, and and then on the other side of the coin, if we want to play something new, we can rehearse it right there and whatever. So it's great. It was kind of new in a strange way to me because, obviously, going out in the early days of Van Halen, you played, 2-3 nights in a certain same city. Back then, I think it was more like, the big party, where now it's like, not like you're getting up to go to work, but, being in the same city for how long we were there, it was kind of strange, but it's great.
I was going to ask what the biggest difference is between doing a residency where you're playing a handful of shows in the same city as opposed to going from one city to the next. Is it just getting a good night's sleep, being in one spot?
Yeah, knowing that you don't have to travel or God, maybe I guess I'm aging myself now. Because I hated touring. Let's put it this way: I love playing music on stage. I hated touring. I've hated touring for the last 30 years. The travel part, because also singing like how I do, high background vocal stuff, and you go out like this time of the year in the the winter, and it's cold, and you go from the cold to the hot hotel room back to the cold, and you try to balance it out, but it never fails. I always get a cold. You get sick. You get a sore throat for a while. And I hate that. But, it's great. And the way that I did it last year, too, I own a RV spot at a resort just south of Vegas. So I packed my dogs up and the wife and in the bus, and we stay out there. So it's great. It's almost like I'm just bringing home. I'm still at home.
Is it weird for people to see Michael Anthony walking around the RV park, like during, in the middle of the residency, you're sort of walking the dogs around the park?
Yeah, for a few people it is. Some of the people, they're so old there, they don't know who the hell I am anyway.
Now, you guys have got 2 sets of residencies dates set for this year. What are the chances this becomes sort of an annual thing and you do this as opposed to going out on tour?
Well, you know what? That's the way we're leaning on doing a little more of the residencies type stuff. And it's funny because you see bands like Def Leppard and Scorpions, and Def Leppard. I was just in Vegas the other week, and they're out there playing right now. It's great to do that, but then it's great to go out and tour too. So I'm sure we'll go out and play dates other than doing the residency stuff because. They're playing to a different audience every night. You don't know how many of the people have been to all the shows, or how many of the shows when you're doing a residency where, when we're traveling around, you're obviously playing to a different audience every night. So it's new and fresh, and the spontaneity is different every night.
You mentioned going and playing to new fans, playing on the road in places you haven't played before, and you're actually coming with Sammy to the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort right here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan for the very first time coming up this summer. Do you still get excited to go out? I mean, you've been on the road for so long. You've played in front of so many people, but there are, shockingly, still people that haven't seen Sammy, that haven't seen Michael Anthony on stage. Do you still get excited to play those shows for fans that haven't had the chance to see you?
Oh, yeah. That's great. I'm glad that you said that because, it's, we love playing music Sammy does, and Joe and Kenny and myself, and every night is different. It's not like, we don't get up on stage and do the rock pose and, we're playing a show for you. It's more of like, the audience participation part. And we just want it to be like a big, a fun time for the band and the audience. So there's a lot of audience participation. And that's what that keeps it fresh, man. It keeps it exciting and fun to do.
And if the residency and the tour weren't enough, 2026 marks the 40th anniversary of 5150, of course, Van Halen's first album with Sammy. To celebrate, you got this massive deluxe box set coming out in March. How involved are you in putting that sort of stuff together?
Well, you know what? Everybody, we have our longtime old engineer, Don Landy, went in and mixed stuff. And, we basically, you let the record company and everybody, they got their ideas and they throw stuff at us, and then we go, yeah, no, oh, we love that, no, and then we throw our 2 cents in, because a lot of it is marketing and whatever, and I'm not good at any of that. I'm just good at knowing what I hear and see. We definitely throw our 2 cents in when it comes to that.
Do you get nostalgic when you look and listen to some of this stuff, whether it's some of the unreleased recordings maybe you haven't heard in a long time, or maybe you watch Live Without a Net? Do you get those sort of nostalgic feelings of those first times on stage with Sammy?
Yes, because I don't listen to, a lot of the stuff. I won't listen to, let's say, like, an album like 812 or like 5150. I haven't listened to it in a long time. And then all of a sudden you hear a couple of songs, and then the next thing I know, I'm going through our whole catalog playing stuff. And Sammy hates that now because I go, hey, Sammy, why don't we play this song live? Why don't we play that song live? We haven't done this one or that one. And, so I'm always throwing stuff at him to sing. But obviously, I've got to pick and choose in respect to his voice. And that's how we pretty much put the set together to play in Vegas and on the tour now, to see what he's comfortable singing. So that, we can go out and put on a great show, and he can give it 100% every night.
What does it mean to you to be able to celebrate the 40th anniversary of that first record with Sammy? You guys will be doing the Vegas residency at the same time, or around the same time that it'll mark the 40th anniversary. What does that mean to you?
It means I'm getting old.
No.
Hey, one thing that I've come to know is that age is just a number, Let's see. We're playing out there in Soaring Eagle on June 17th. 3 days after that's my birthday, so I'm going to get the parties. I'm going to get my birthday started early. I'll start it that night.
You heard it here first. Make sure you get your tickets for that show at the Soaring Eagle box office, etix.com. Go check out the residency in Las Vegas, and the 40th anniversary edition of 5150 will be out next month. Michael Anthony, we'll see you in a couple of months.
June 17th, baby. It's going to rock.
We'll see you there.
Okay, take care, Matt.